Hey folks, how about a quick vinyl community contest entry? This is for Jimmy the Saint, a channel that I kind of had forgotten about, except someone was doing an entry and it came across my feed. And I went back to make sure I was subscribed because I try to subscribe to especially the smaller channels of the vinyl community to show the support and love. And uh, I had subscribed to him, and but I guess for some reason I don't know how the YouTube algorithms work, but I haven't seen very many of his videos come across. So anyway, he's having a contest. He hit 100. Well, now he's up to 135. Um, will I make it in time? Maybe. It's not unlike me to make contests at the very last moment, but I don't. He's on the other side of the world, and I I know I'm pushing it, but and I don't know exactly. He told the deadline, but I can't translate that into Eastern Standard Time here. So I'm just going to do this video. If I get in the contest, good. If I don't get into the contest, still good, because I like helping out other channels by by mentioning them. So if you are here, you don't know Jimmy the Saint, I'll put a link in the description below. Go check him out. Um, so let's go ahead and get into this contest. And he's asked 4 questions, pretty straightforward, and I have my answers. Now he asked for the first record acquired or oldest album that I own. That's kind of hard. When I was a kid, my mom, I guess, was buying me records before I could even remember acquiring them. So I know I had practically all of the Partridge Family albums. I had Everything's Archie, the music the cartoon or comic book character Archie. They have a band, and they actually put out songs like Sugar Sugar and um, your I can't remember. Anyway, I had some albums like that, but I don't have those albums anymore. I do have this one, Snoopy's Christmas. Um, I don't remember having acquired it, but it has been with me since my childhood. Obviously, they must not have had the copyright to Snoopy's or the Peanuts characters, um, because where is Snoopy? I guess it's some sort of subliminal suggestion that because we know Snoopy and his fantasies of being a flying ace and wearing the helmet and goggles and sitting on his doghouse thinking that he's in a fighter plane. So we get a fighter plane down here. We see a little helmet sticking up, but we don't see any bit of Snoopy whatsoever. So I'm guessing they didn't have the rights. Still, Snoopy Christmas, Diplomat Records. All right, the second question is, all right, suppose there was like some type of fire and you had to save one record. And I wondered if he meant that we could replace others, and he laid out a scenario in which you can replace other records. So rareness plays a part into this. So I'm going to go with this album. You probably have heard me, if you've watched this channel, you've heard me talk about this album before. You think, oh man, he's going to show this album again. Yeah. One more time. Sounds of Joy. Boy, I'm getting a lot of glare from this angle. I'm trying to shoot at a different angle that lights up a little better, but all right. So, Sands of Joy. This was Russ Taff's first group before he joined the Imperials. I'm thinking this is the earliest recording that he's ever sang on. I know there are 2 other Sounds of Joy albums. This has the most custom label that I've ever seen, especially well compared to the other Sounds of Joy album. So, and I know that the third Sounds of Joy album, which I do not have, was the one where he was leaving the group. So I'm assuming this is the very first one. If you followed all of that, I'm sorry. Anyway, this album I won in a silent auction the first time I went down for Russ and Tori Taft's Bell Buckle Weekend. So this came out of their storage bin. The proceeds from the silent auction went to help Mark Lowry, another recording artist, a home church in Houston that was hit by they were affected by a hurricane. So I felt good about the money going to that. This came out of Russ. This means a lot because it came out of Russ's own personal locker. We peeled the shrink off of it. He signed it to me, handed it to me, said, "You're probably one of only two people that own this album." I don't know. I don't. There's no telling how many copies of this are floating around. Not many. I saw one on eBay a week ago, and it was running for about 200. I did not pay that for this, but yeah. So this would be the one album that I would grab. All right. Third question: an album with a story. Again, we're going to go back to Russ and Tori Taft's Bell Buckle Weekend. This was the one a couple weeks ago. So this summer and fall have been kind of hard. Financially, I just haven't been buying as much. So even going on this vacation, I had enough to go on the vacation, but I was kind of trying to watch what I was spending and everything. And Phil had an album on his table, and I really wanted it. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to pass this time. I'm going to be smart with my money. I've got it on CD. I'd love to have it on vinyl. Let me pass this time. So after the concert on Saturday night, which featured Russ Taff and Phil Keaggy as his guest, Phil came back and was signing. And I'll tell you a secret. I may or may not have gotten some other stuff signed for some other folks, and that may be going out in the mail soon. But we'll see. Anyway, so I'm talking to Phil, and we're talking about records, and he's getting ready to leave. They hand him a box, and he reaches in and he pulls out an album and says, "Here, this is a gift from me to you." And then he signed it. Phil Keaggy, all at once, signed an album that I was passing on to try to be smart with my money because it was tight. And Phil Keaggy, being the sweetheart of a guy that he is, somehow, without knowing all that, gives me the album that I was kind of hoping to get and signs it. This is a yes. I got some VCLT from the greatest guitarist on the planet. Like that back cover. Isn't that a gorgeous guitar? That Starburst Les Paul. That oh wow, Jake, you're really gonna do that? Jake, you're blocking the view. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Oh, that's my buddy. I have no idea. That'll be interesting. What's the matter? What's the matter? Huh? I'm trying to tell a story. You good boy? Okay. Anyway, So there you have it. Let me finish showing you this album. We were looking at that back cover. That same guitar that's on the cover of Crimson and Blue, which is one of my favorite Phil albums. There's the... This is... I've got it on a single disc, but I guess they split it up. It's 180 gram vinyl. Trying to give it a better sound. And this is what the album looks like. Well, it says Strobe Records. Not sure about that label. Never saw it before. Phil Keaggy, All at Once. All right. And that is the album with the story and a cat interruption. All right. Final question. What's the last album that I bought? Well, I went to The Great Escape a couple days ago. They were having a sale, half price on all albums that they had that were 2018 or older. And so I bought several. I'm not going to show them all, but I will show you this one because I remember that it was the last one that I picked up as I was kind of trying to hurry up. I had to go to work afterward. So I was hurrying, trying to get things bought and out the door. And so this was the last one. Ramsey Lewis. Going Latin. That looks like a fun album. I've always enjoyed Ramsey Lewis. Great jazzman. Got my introduction to Ramsey Lewis back when I first fell in love with jazz, back around 2001. And so back then I would turn on BET on jazz to try to familiarize myself with all the jazz artists. And Ramsey Lewis was the host of one of their concert series. And so that's how I got to know him. And those are the 4 questions. So again, go check out Jimmy the Saint. I'll put a description, I'll put a description of his channel in the link below. No, I'll put a link in the description below. And so I'm going to wrap this so I can hurry up and get it uploaded. Besides, my Wildcats are playing Georgia, and I'm going to try to watch that game while I do my editing. Hope you all having a great week, great weekend, whenever you see this. And yeah, so come back, stay. Hey, subscribe. I'm losing subscribers, and we'll see you soon. Bye.